make a mushroom pesto pasta with blistered cherry tomatoes. And we're gonna be using a specialty mushroom by Guan's today, and it's called Enoki. So they almost resemble capellini noodles. So they're very thin and delicate, and this is what we're gonna use as our pasta today. So we're gonna start by making the traditional pesto. So we're gonna put the garlic in the food processor along with the basil, a few handfuls of basil in here. Then we have about 2 tablespoons of olive oil, lots of Parmigiano cheese, about 3/4 of a cup, along with the pine nuts. And we're gonna add a little bit of salt in here. Perfect, and now we're gonna put the top on and blitz the whole thing together. You might notice that when you're making the pesto, you're gonna need to add just a little bit more oil. So we're gonna add just a touch extra in here, maybe a tablespoon or so. Just get it the consistency that you really want, a little bit more. Okay, this smells so good. Let's take a look at it. So this is perfect. This is exactly what we want. This type of consistency where it's a little chunky but smooth and not too much oil. So now that we're done making the pesto, we're gonna go ahead and blister our cherry tomatoes. We're gonna saute them down with a little bit of olive oil and then add some sea salt. So the tomatoes are going to slowly start to release the juices and the skins are gonna blister and pop. And that's where all the flavor comes from. It'll take about 5-8 minutes or so for this to happen. So you just wanna let it hang out. You definitely wanna stand back because this can get really dirty. The oil is gonna spray up at you. So either put an apron on or something, just be careful. Okay, this is looking so good. You can see it's a little bit charred and the skin has blistered and released the juices. This is exactly what we've been looking for. So let's just let it cook for about 1 minute or so and that's it. This is gonna add so much flavor to the mushroom pasta. Let's keep all the juices and we're gonna set the cherry tomatoes aside and we're gonna cook the enoki mushrooms in the same pan. And we're not gonna wash it because we really want those beautiful juices left over from the tomatoes. So we're gonna take our enoki and just cut the stems off and then we're gonna keep the rest. So the pan's on medium-high and the enoki mushrooms, they start to break apart. This is great. We're gonna add it in here. And we don't really need to cook it. We're just gonna saute it and warm it up for about a minute or so. Maybe add a splash of water, and that's about it. And we're adding 2 in here, 2 packs, because you really need it. You'll see mushrooms always tend to wilt down after you cook or warm them up. So let's add the blistered tomatoes right back into the enoki pasta. Oh man, that looks so good. See, doesn't it look like angel hair pasta? This is beautiful. And we're just gonna go ahead and serve it up in a bowl and add the pesto on top. Just pour all that juice in. Make sure you get every little ounce of it. That's where all the flavor comes from. This is looking so good. So we have our little enoki mushrooms in here. It looks just like pasta. And what we're gonna do is add our pesto in here. We want maybe like a tablespoon or so, just a nice dollop. And since the pasta is nice and warm, it's gonna melt through. Add the nuts to make it even more of a traditional pasta, a little bit of nuttiness, and of course, you gotta have a little bit more Parmigiano, just a touch. Look at that. I mean, it's just like pasta. Now let's try it. Oh my God. That is so good. I got a little bit of the Parmigiano. Cherry tomato, the juice of that is just flavoring the whole thing. Wow. That is honestly the only Italian pasta I want to eat. So for more recipes, you can visit my blog, reginato.com. And for more information on these enoki mushrooms, you can go to guansmushroom.com. Buon appetito, ragazzi!